Randy Richard in the shop, and today we're continuing on the cement mixer, continuing with the repair parts of things. We're going to try to get the gear off of the yoke so I can machine the journals, and we'll get we'll try for that, and then if we get that done, we're going to start machining some setup stuff. I have a big plate, my welding table plate. I'm going to put on the mill, and we'll start doing some work to that so I can get the yoke mounted on the mill. Well, a lot of work to do, and we'll just see where we get to. Ring gear to turn the yoke. I'm going to try to get it off of the yoke, off the shaft here. So this is the hub, and this shaft here is almost 3 inches across, and a 1/2 inch key is right here. Set screw hole here, 1/2 inch set screw. I removed that, put some WD-40 in there to just see if anything will penetrate down, but it's not, the level's not going down. So this has probably never been off and in its lifetime, so I'm hoping it comes off maybe kind of easy, but I'm going to knock on it a little bit from the back side, see if it does move. I cannot get to the end of the key on the other side. It's blocked by the yoke. It's almost impossible to get to, so we're going to knock on it a little bit. If not, the heat's coming out, and we're going to warm this up and we'll try to knock her off. That sounds pretty solid. I don't think that's budging. I'll get the torch. Let's see here. Actually, I think it's moving. It's kind of cracking around here. It's moved maybe 1/8 of an inch almost, actually. Yep, we have it moved 1/4 of an inch now. About another 1/4 of an inch will be at the end of the shaft to be flush, and I won't be able to have it up here. That's what I was, see, I've got it. That's moved to 1/2 an inch. I'm going to take this out and just kind of knock on it, just hanging here. We'll see how to get this off, because it is moving. Just like that. Ah, I love it when a plan comes together, and that came off slick as can be. And Now I can proceed with my plan to remachine the journals. I think I can get it on my mill. The setup's going to be pretty tough, but I think I can do it. And I'm going to build a special boring bar to come in and go around the journal. Right, in our 1-inch plate here for fixturing the yoke that's going to bolt directly to the mill table. And I'm going to do some holes in the plate. This is my welding table plate. It's a 1-inch piece, 20 by 28. It has a 8-inch bolt, 1-inch bolt hole pattern in it. That's just the way it came. I'm going to put some 2 counter bored holes here to bolt it down to mill table. And we'll also use these 2 holes here also. I want as few bolts sticking up out of the plate as possible. These should not be in the way. These could be in the way, or this one for sure. So I'm going to counterbore these, so it's a little bit of work doing that. And that's what we're going to do now. First, I'm just going to find, I've already marked them with a scribe, and I'm just going to center up on the marks with that. And we'll spot drill, pilot drill, 9/16 final drill for the hole, and then we'll start our counterbore with a 3/4 inch hole, and then I'm just going to bore it. So it has a nice square bottom and the right size. I may have other holes to put in the plate for the angle plate, and we won't know that until we get this actually on this attached to the table. We get kind of things start to get mount up there as far as the yoke before I know where the holes will have to go in the plate. So this is going to be a process here. All right, I'm ready to bore the hole, and I just drilled that, 3/4, and man, it came out 3/4, half over. Nice. That's nice. Nice when you have sharp drills. And I love my Derek's drill grinder there. It really works. It really works well, actually. We're going to open it up to 13, 16, so we don't have a lot to take off. We're just going to use the calipers. This is not a real precision hole. This will be the final cut. Eight one one, 8125, 8125, 812. That's exactly what. All right, this is the second hole, and I left my boring head set for my finished dimension. So I'm making note of that. I'm just going to back it off a little bit, about 20 or so. Set it at a nice even number, I think 15, and then I'm going to bore that, and then I can just go right, I should be able to go right to my final setting and have my second hole nice and fast. And I'll take it to the close to the final depth, also at the same time. I have to go back to 27, which is exactly the number I wanted. So we're just going to go right to the old setting and call that good. Eight 813, somewhere around there. Yeah, 812, 813. Let's see how they fit. Oh yeah, that's going to be just fine. I'll drop them in now. I got to pull them out, but they're below the surface and nice and loose. That gives me a little wiggle room to align the table. It's pretty much in the position where it's probably going to be. What's this allowing me to do is give me 18 inches more table length, and out this side about 7.5 inches, and on this side I have 3 inches of table width. This is only 9 inches wide. My mill table is only 9 inches wide, so this is 20 wide, and I'm going to mount a large angle plate here. That's coming. That's going to go there, and then the yoke will bolt to that at the pivot point on the yoke where the drum is normally mounted. We're going to bolt that on there, and that's going to give us rotation in this direction for alignment, and I'll be able to just swivel the plate this way for alignment, and the just to get so we can get that the journals in alignment right in this area. Take the head, rotate it like so, 90 degrees, and we're also going to rotate it down 45 degrees. So that'll bring the head lower than the ram, and we'll be able to adjust the ram and rotational this way. We'll get this all lined up with the table. Then we'll be able to align the journal with the head itself, actually. And that's going to take us probably half the day to do all that, I'm sure. And we'll be pretty much set as far as getting things aligned and ready to go. Now I have to build my boring head adapter attachment still. I'm going to use a 3-inch Criterion. Here, I got my 3-inch Criterion boring head, which is going to go in there. I still have to build an adapter on here to hold a large, I'm going to make a large boring bar, 1-inch boring bar come out. And we'll be using it this way to go up and down on the journal. It's going to be quite the Rube Goldberg setup, but I think it's going to work. I modeled the mill table, the plate, the yoke, a little bit of the head type of thing, and I have a 3D model on the computer. So I figured out how I can do all this. And I think it's going to work. And I think it's going to be solid enough to machine it carefully. Since it's just cast iron, we should be able to machine them just fine. We're not having to take off a lot. Probably somewhere between 20 and 40 thousandths roughly. Be about it, hopefully. And I'm going to try to get them the same size. That's I'm going to figure that out. And I'd like to have them both the same size if I can. And then we're going to, figure out what I'm going to do with the bearing blocks. Whether I'm going to machine those out, which I'm going to machine them, but whether I'm going to actually machine them so I can put a bearing in them. That's the big question here, is what can I do? So I'm still working on that deal. So thanks you guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll be getting some machine work done here since winter's coming, and it's kind of coming slow now. It's pretty nice out, and we'll keep going on the cement mixer. And thanks you guys. We'll see you in the next one.